Hello, welcome to Make Boss Capital channel. My name is Michael Chu. This is my growth stocks list video for the week ending June 26, 2026. For this week we have distribution days. On Tuesday we see tech sell off really hard here, and then on Friday we have the stocks again. Chips are diving, so that has 9 distribution days on Nasdaq and 4 on S&P, which is very high number. We covered in the main market video how Nasdaq is very close to making a new recent low. So it is setting up, for possibly more downside next week. So we'll see what happens. IBD has changed the allocation to 60 to 80%. It was prior to that was almost was at the highest, 80 to 100%. Now we did see some rotation happening. You can see actually more accumulation in stocks than distribution actually by the end of the week. It was at the 635 to 259 ratio here. On the industry groups, we're also seeing similar behavior. We're seeing 106 industry group accumulated versus 59 distributed. On the sector side, we see technology it improved somewhat on Friday. Mainly the software sector group really bounced. So that's a good thing. And we talk about that in the main market video. Look at the IGV sector index. We can look at some stocks too in this video. Retail doing well, 89. So this is net accumulation minus distribution. Industrial 61, so it's not too bad. Health 127, really high number. It's probably one of the highest number I've seen. Minus 32 for commodities, energy, and 134 for financial. So financial is showing lots of strength. And we also talk about that in the main market video where Russell and Dow Jones are doing really well. So this is the growth stocks list I follow. In that list, we'll see it in a moment here. I'm comprised of 613 stocks right now. Out of that, 270, right, out of 613 is in uptrend. So that's roughly 47%. So there's still more stocks in downtrend than in uptrend in my growth stocks list. But overall, it's been holding pretty well considering what has happened this week, right? And we'll see in a second. Most of those stocks that are in downtrend has coming from the tech area, especially chips. So in the top 100 on my list, in the top 100 ranking, 48 are still in technology, which is a drop of 4. 7, so retail increased from 4 to 7 stocks. Industrial dropped slightly to 24. Health improved from 10 to 13. Commodity energy just really didn't move much, and financial also didn't move much. So again, we're seeing some rotation happening with value stocks, being bought. Now, because here I'm just talking about the top 100, so you won't see much of a change, right? The tech group is still the dominant group because they've been performing well in the last, this rally and in the last, 2 to 3 months since April. So here's the growth stocks list. This is the stock symbol here. It is ranked based on price performance from March 30th to now, June 26th. Here's the ranking. Here's whether it is in uptrend or downtrend. And we're seeing a lot of stocks in downtrend at the top 25 here, right? So again, a lot of those are chip stocks actually. And then we see the highest date, which represent when was the last time it hit the highest value. And some of this are still making new highs right now. We'll talk about in a second here. And in this right here, these two columns tells you which sector and which industry group. So the orange are all the technology area. Industrial is the green. We see one financial here. As we come down, we see health. Yellow is the retail, right? So we'll start with rank number 1, MXL. This has a gain performance of 500% since March 30th. Here's MaxLinear MXL, the number 1 ranking performer. It was able to manage this week to hold up above the 10 and 21 day, which is the green and pink line here. So that is quite impressive. After it has corrected, almost come down to the red line, which is 50-day moving average, and then from there it started to bounce. And you can see in the last, about 7 or 8 sessions here, it was able to sit near or above that 10-21 day line, which are kind of converging together. And Thursday and Friday is actually quite impressive because both days the market didn't close at the top, but yet these two stocks were able to close at the top. This stock was able to close at the top range here, and Friday it closed nearly at the top. So this is setting up for a potential breakout, across the upper channel line here. If you draw a line across from here to here, so we'll see if that's going to happen. Next, we have A-Lab and P&G, both currently in a downtrend. So you can see A-Lab top about on Monday. So I believe many stocks also top on Monday, following the Nasdaq composite in chart. So you can see Tuesday when it came down, Thursday it tried to bounce, but it fell and came back down to the bottom range. And then on Friday, it broke the 10-day, even though it bounced back to the 10-day by the close. But again, this is now considered a downtrend forming. So we'll see if any strength will be a selling opportunity for some. They might sell into strength, any strength left, and that will be that will be not good. Here's Penguin Solutions, also top on Monday here. So again, you will see many top leading growth stocks top on Monday, at least short term here. Tuesday, Wednesday, same thing, pulling back. Thursday tried to bounce. At least this one closed at the top range. But Friday, look at that gap down, right? It gapped down and then closed near the 21 days. So that is negative. Rank number 4 is SanDisk. This one also very volatile. This one has been one of the strongest performer for sure. And you can see on Monday it gapped up, making a new high here. But Tuesday and Wednesday was pretty bad. It dropped on Tuesday 13%, and then on Wednesday it dropped another 2.5%. But on Thursday, it rebounded strong after following the Korean market there, where it also bounced back, and it was up 21% on Thursday. However, Friday it gave back over 10%. So very volatile right now. It is still above 10-day, so this is still technically in uptrend momentum here. Rank number 5 and 7, VSH and VPG. Here's VSH, Vishay Technology, Intertechnology, also top on Monday here, coming down. And this one looks a little bit weak because it just slid to the 21-day and really hasn't done much since. Like Thursday it tried to bounce, but Friday we have the gap down back to the 21-day. If we break 21-day, then it could possibly go to the red line next. Here's VPG, V-Shape Precision Group, also seeing the same problem here, sliding down. This one has been sliding down for almost 2 weeks now, and is now at the pink line. Here we have MU. So just like SanDisk, this one also pulled back, gap up Monday, pull back Tuesday, Wednesday. Thursday we make a new high, which is very impressive. And then Thursday we give back 6.6%. Again, we're still sitting above 10-day. Obviously, the data storage group, SanDisk, MU, and a few other stocks, they're all in the same group, and they're all really hot for a long time now. But there is some warning signs coming from the Korean Kospi index there, with Samsung and SK Hynix. They could be watching those two stocks can kind of foresee what's going to happen next when it comes to relating to these stocks here. Next we have Marvel here and Simo, both in downtrend. Here's Marvel Technology. This one also top on Monday here, coming down. Thursday tried to come back above but couldn't, and then Friday ends up at the pink line, 21-day. Here's Silicon Motion here, also topping on Monday. Tried to come back on Thursday. You can see where it closed. It was closing at the bottom of the range, and then Friday we had that gap down, which pushed it much lower, and it closed somewhere just slightly below the 10-day. Next we have Zizo here, ranked 11. This is one of the financial stock in the top here. Well, this is one of the strong financial stocks performing. Zizo, SEZL. Look at this nice chart here, climbing nicely above the green line, which is the 10-day moving average. Look at recent 10-day performance here. Didn't even touch it. It came close to it, and then it bounced here on Wednesday. And Friday we closed at a new high, up 4%. Next on the list we have some more tech stocks: Credo, AMD, and ARM, which we cover in the main market video. We have STX, Seagate, Dell, Flex, and WDC, all in downtrend at this moment. Then we have XMTR in uptrend at this moment. So this one is trying to come out here. So it's setting up to break out of this nice handle zone here. This handle is forming near the 10-day line. This is a nice cup with handle pattern. Here we see STM, another chip stock in downtrend right now. Then we have DDOG. So this one is a software. This is Datadog. Look at this nice breakout from this trend line here. Very strong move, up 8.5% on Friday. So that's a nice big move there. Then we have Kohu in downtrend, another chip stock. ICHR is still in uptrend, managing to hold up. Here we are, we bounced back on Friday from the bottom here and sitting much above the 10-day. So this is one of the few stocks that actually bounced back on the semiconductor list. Next we see Kohu in the downtrend here. Yeah. And then we see Hinge and LQDAA. These are both medical health related stocks. Look at Hinge Health here, HNGE is the symbol. Look at how nice it sits above the 10-day, right? And then recently we came close to it again, and then we bounced on Thursday morning and closed strong. Friday, another big move up 5%. This is definitely looking very extended at this moment. LQDA, this one also bouncing pretty nicely, finding support at the 10-day recently here on the green line. So both of those stocks making new high. Then we have TTMI in the electrical contract manufacturing kind of in the downtrend this moment. SITM, chip stocks, SMTC, both in downtrend. We have Bloom Energy here in the alternative energy getting hit really hard. Take a look at this stock. This one, very volatile stock, but it can move. It move up right here. Then we had this correction down to the red line, and then we bounce off and make a new high. But look at this week, right? Monday we make a new high. Tuesday we pull back, and Wednesday tried to bounce, and then Thursday, look at that morning, it tried to make that new high just not far from the previous high here on Monday, and then from that it reversed significantly. So on Thursday it reversed from that high there and came down 5%. It doesn't look as bad from that sound, but it actually is one of the widest range trading day there. And then the next day it basically just gave up, and from the morning highs to all the way to where it closed, down 18%, right? So in 2 days you basically gave up almost right here 52-week high, 28% just in 2 days. So this highlights how cautious one should be around anything related to AI at this moment, because this is a very quick unwinding and very fast correction here, and we don't know if this is even over yet, right? So something to be aware of. A lot of stocks are setting up for the downside right now, not the upside, because Thursday was the day a lot of AI stocks could have bounced and closed strong, but they didn't. They gave up I think within the first hour of the trading day, they give up their gains so quickly. It was incredible to see. We have STRL also in downtrend. MTRN, this is in the metal products area that's showing strength. This Material Corp. Look at this nice support around the 10-day here. And then recently, again, we see that on Wednesday here and bounce off. And then on Friday, it did make an intraday high, closing up 1.8%. Then we have EXTR still doing okay in the uptrend. LLGM. Here's Snowflake. The Snowflake also bounced really strong on Friday from a downtrend line here. So that looks pretty good, up 9.5%. Then we have PDFS in downtrend. We have another medical stock, Urgent, here doing well. Down here we also have NEO and BHVN, all in the health sector. We have Stop in the retail that's doing well. And then we also have Okta here in the security software. Here's StubHub Holdings, symbol STUB. Look at this nice tight trading here around the 10-day recently. And then on Friday, it was able to break out from that tight range, up 7.6%. We're also seeing Okta here, the computer software security group, doing well. Look at this bounce. We had this huge pullback correction here, found support at the 21-day, close off strong. Then from there, we start to slowly find support near the 10-21-day and making higher highs every day. And close Friday very strong, 4%. Here we have AMAT still trying to hold up. HPE, HIMX, FPS, all three are in current downtrend. We have Garden Health here, medical service trying to do well. ASTH also trying to do well. And TGTX here, all in the health related area. Here's Garden Health, symbol GH. Look at this nice tight consolidation here after coming out of a huge cup. And then from there we broke out, and we've been climbing 4 days in a row. And look at how fast it come up here, up closing 4% to a new high. This is Astrana Health, ASTH, also showing really big movement here. Look at this nice breakout. Here's TG Therapeutics, TGTX is the symbol. This was a nice recent breakout right here, huge move. From there we keep climbing like for many sessions, And then recently you start to see the ends forming because there's more volume coming in after a certain rally here. And look at this. It didn't even want to come down close to the green line in those 2 down days. And then Thursday is still, try to resist going down to a newer low. And on Friday, same thing here, you can see. And then finally, it kind of closed at the top again. And we have the highest closing high right here, up 4.1%. Looking at the State Street Spider biotech ETF here, this base is really nice. From there, we break out. And look at this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 up days right now. Very strong performer right now. That's why we're seeing some of the biotech stock doing well. Next, we have LRCX in downtrend. 10B, a security stock, doing pretty good, just like Okta. Then we have Geo here. Security also doing not bad, making new high. Synaptic, I believe this is maybe be acquired. We have ASX, still trying to hold on to the short-term moving average. We have CrowdStrike also doing well. Let's take a look at 10B and CrowdStrike. Look at 10B here, breaking out really nice here from this, recent highs here. We also have CrowdStrike here making a move on Friday. It's still not 100% clear that it's going to come above this recent consolidation here at this level, at the 700 level. So we'll see if this can stay and continue to break out here. Here we see some financial firms, including Affirm, Enwa, OSG here, Clar. This is Affirm Holdings making a new closing high here. Look at it, found support on Tuesday, bounced off the 10-day moving average, and then from there it continued on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and then on Friday closed at up 3% for a new high. This is Innova International. This has been a very strong performer. Look at how it breaks out from this long handle here. This is the big cup here. Once it passed that, it was continuous climbing, and then this is the first pullback near the 10-day. Then we continue to climb. Here's the second pullback, right? And then from here it continues on. Right now it looks quite extended from the 10-day moving average. Here's Octave Specialty area in the insurance area. Look at this, bouncing off really nice here from the 10-day recently on Tuesday. Wednesday it broke out above this recent consolidation. Thursday it pulls back, but it's still above the 10-day. And Friday very quickly it bounced back again, closing at a new recent high here, up 8%. Here we have Kana Group. This one also corrected a long time for a while. And then recently we pulled back once again to the 10-day. And since then we have been finding support 10-day, including here on Tuesday, finding support there. Wednesday it bounced off, Thursday, Friday, and then we have a new recent high here around the $20 mark. Continue with chip stocks here. MKSI is trying to hold on. KLAC is in downtrend. We have MTSI also in downtrend. Cohere here in downtrend. We have BHE trying to hold up. Glow Corning also still in uptrend at this moment. KFRC Commercial Service Staffing. We have IMOS and AXTI both going down. Then we have Chef also doing well, still in uptrend. ALNT uptrend. Etsy also in uptrend. Then we have UNH, another medical stock doing well, making new high. ON Twilio LSCC. ON got hit pretty hard. It announced acquisition of Synaptics here, and it came down pretty hard after that news. Here's Synaptic also falling despite the potential news to acquire them by on Semiconductor. Then we have DO, IESC, PRM here, Seco, AOI, all in downtrend mode. Then we see more health stocks that are doing well. PDSG, Eton, both of them making new high. Then we have MPO in the machinery, general industrial still holding up. TSEM down. ARCB is in downtrend. A10 and PEN both are still in uptrend. Roku in downtrend. TXN is in downtrend. BLFS medical products doing well, making new high. RSI, leisure, and Viking here also both making new high. And then we have DGII in the computer networking also making new high. And then we also have DVA here in the health that's making new high. Let's start with BioLife Solutions, symbol BLFS. This one came out of the downtrend handle here, and it bounced really strong on Thursday, finishing the week on Friday in the middle range here of the day. Still up 4%. We are getting closer to trying to break out near the almost $30 zone here. Here's RSI bouncing really nicely here. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, trying to find support near the green line. Thursday, it kind of tried to get out of the to new high here, and then on Friday it clearly did that, up 3.5%. This is Viking Holdings VIK symbol, also bouncing nicely off the 10-day here on Tuesday, and then Wednesday it followed through. Thursday, Friday, look at how tight that trading is, and it didn't really make new low per se here. Here's DG International. This one also showing some strength here, trying to come back above the 70 mark or so. So it is setting up to break out to new high. This is in the networking area. Here's Davida Medical Services. This one also been moving up slowly but surely here. And then Thursday it did find support at the green line here. And Friday we followed through, make new high, closing up 1.7%. Then we have DY, which is still in uptrend. GNRC pretty close, neutral. CRS here, still in uptrend for steel. POW, this is electrical power equipment in downtrend. VF in downtrend. Caterpillar in the construction mining is slightly uptrend. LGN, building construction downtrend, and so forth. You can continue to look at this list here. INDV in the medical drugs area, making new high. We have CARE in the banks regional, making new high. Then we have Dollar Tree here, also making new high in the retail discount. LLY Lilly, this one is looking very sharp. This is Eli Lilly here. This is a huge cup. Then from there it pulled back and bounced, making new high. And then it pulled back pretty strong for almost 2 weeks here. But it found support finally above the red line, and from there it continued to find support. And then on Friday it made a pretty big move, up 7%. We also have Air here in the aerospace defense, making new high. MSGE in the leisure services. We have ARMK in the commercial service, making new high. GVA, building and reconstruction, making new high. PGC in the banks regional. XYZ also making new high in the finance credit card payment area. CR is in diversified operations, making new high. SKWD also making new high in the insurance area. Levi in the apparel area, making new high. BAO, insurance diversified, making new high. BMO, banks money center, making new high. MNST, beverage non-alcoholic. PetSmart here, retail major discount chains. Globe, this is software enterprise. BKD, which is in the medical home nursing care. So again, lots of stocks are still making new high. And we have LOB here in the bank southeast region. CAH in the medical wholesale supply. Card here, retail internet. CATI here, this is bank southwest. QNST, commercial service advertising. WTS here is building construction. We have Budweiser here in the beverage alcoholic, making new high. Ally here, financial. ABBV, medical ethical drugs. NIC, banks Midwest. You have DCOM here, Ryan, and Bank C, all making new high, all in the financial area. So this is, again, financial are showing lots of strength. They're just ranked lower on my list, but they are showing lots of strength. LSPD in the software enterprise. So some software are still trying to bounce right now. After Friday had a nice gain on the sector group, almost 4%. SFBS here, Bank Southeast doing well. USFD, wholesale food. PNFP here, Bank Southeast. Then we have Hallo here in the biotech area, making new high. Bills in the banks Midwest, that's doing well. And RBA, retail specialty, making new high. We have EGBN in the banks Northeast. We have AJG, insurance broker. And then you have EW, CBU, ABNB, AMAL, TKO. All these stocks are making new high. INDB, MLR, ECL, EBC, WELL, and the list continue. SPCF, CCEP, WCN, DGX, all these stocks are making new high. UL, BMRC, and as you go down, we're going to start to see more stocks in downtrend here. And yeah, so there you go. There's the 600 stocks list here that I follow. So overall, chip stocks are correcting. Software bounced hard on Friday, but a lot of them are still below their 10-day. We're seeing the security group doing well right now. They're relatively very strong. We're seeing biotech, health area doing well. Industrials are mostly not as strong, but there's still some that are working. And obviously, as I just show you, financials are doing really well. You don't see many commodities or energy area doing well. Even Bloom Energy is not doing well. That's AI kind of provider for data center and so forth. Um, so yeah, so there is the list for the week. Thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe. I appreciate it. Have a good day.